Hello and welcome to the video, and today we're going to be talking about how to play Mirage, the newest hero in Deadlock. If you guys enjoy this video or find it helpful, make sure to drop that like as well as sub to the channel. About 99% of you guys are not currently subbed, so it would help me out a lot, and I would really appreciate it. I'll also put a link to my Twitch in the pinned comment, so you can check that out as well. This character is brand new, so I might miss a few things. Most people are not going to understand how to play a character perfectly as soon as they come out. That's just not realistic. I am going to, however, try my best to explain how to play this character perfectly, and hope it ages well. I'll also put a build towards the end of the video if you guys want to check that out. If you need a build for him, it is a very good gun build. But now we're going to get into how to actually play him. The first thing we're going to talk about is his abilities. First one being Tornado. This ability at max rank will lift them for 2 seconds. It does a little bit of damage, and it will give you a 50% bullet evasion chance. This is pre-patch Haze ult, so it is very strong and great for survivability. This ability is also good at stopping movement abilities. For example, this 7 in this clip, if I were to hit him right as he majestic leaped, he would be stuck in place and the majestic leap would not go off. This ability also has iframes. If you guys don't know what that means, it's essentially you are invincible for the duration of the ability. What this means is that you can pretty much avoid all forms of damage as well as stunts. I used this ability against this Dynamo perfectly timed and was almost able to travel directly through his ult. I just didn't have enough range on it. But you can see the ult doesn't grab me until the ability ends, and this means that any stun in the game you will be completely invulnerable to. I also hit the Vindicta with it while she was in her flight, and it canceled it immediately. The next ability is Fire Scarabs, and these cannot hit a single enemy more than once. However, you get multiple of them. You can throw these out, and they're great for farming early game because they give you health back. So they have lifesteal on them, and say you walk up to a camp, you're just going to want to hit each enemy in the camp once with them, and then they are useless after that. You cannot hit an enemy more than once. Towards the later game, the use of these kind of shifts because they have a lot of bullet resist. At max level, they have 25% bullet resist, so this is a great debuff to add to an enemy, and we have a tank shred build towards the end of the video. Like I said, with the builds, we have a tank shred option, which will give you over 50% bullet resist shred, which is just crazy. But essentially for this ability, in the early game, you're going to use it for clearing camps. Towards the later game, you're going to use it in a combo with your Tornado. If you are initiating with the Tornado, you will go through, they will be lifted up, you will turn around, hit them with one singular Scarab, and they will have the bullet resist debuff added to them, and then you can just fry them with your gun after that. Next ability we have is Djinn's Mark. It is a passive ability that adds a multiplier to enemies. The multiplier goes from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 and then to 12 at the max rank. And when your multiplier hits the maximum multiplier, it will explode for spirit damage. You can also activate this prematurely by pressing your 3 button. And we actually have a lot of items that are linked to the 3 button because most of the time you're not going to get that max multiplier because it would take over 10 seconds to maximize your multiplier. And by that time, the enemy you're fighting is most likely going to be dead. So instead, what we do is we put Surge of Power on it. We put Quicksilver Reload on it, and we use it whenever our mag is empty. And essentially this is doubling our magazine because it's giving us an instant reload, and by that time the multiplier might be at 4 or 8, in which case it will be doing 500 to 1000 damage, which is pretty solid burst in general. And the next ability we have is Traveler, which is his ultimate, and this is a global ult. If you guys played Smite, it's like Athena ult. You can travel to any teammate or any enemy. This ult is amazing for 3 main reasons, one of which being that you will be able to travel to team fights instantly. Another reason is split pushing, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And the last reason being the urn. As you can see, I put a clip on screen. You are always going to instantly get the urn if you are in a side lane. Now, what this means is that if you are not in a side lane, you will need to switch. You are not maximizing your potential in this character if you are not in a side lane. You need to have access to the urn at all times, so you need to switch early game if you are this character. This ability is also great at split pushing, because late game, say you're split pushing, and you're taking down a walker, for example, and the enemies allocate resources to stop you from doing that while there's a team fight going on. So say they send out 1 or 2 people, you can teleport back to the team fight and now they are at a massive disadvantage, or you can just teleport out in general and save yourself from dying even if there's not a team fight. So this character is going to be an absolute nightmare for split pushing because you're just probably never going to kill him, and he will be able to take towers because his builds are primarily gun builds. So now I'm going to be talking about the build that I'm using. As you can see, it does quite a bit of damage, and you can see that multiplier going on as well, and I hit my 3 for the reload, and just like that, 16,000 damage very quickly. It does an absurd amount of damage. I mean, most players only have 2,000 to 3,000 HP, and because we have so much bullet resist, even if you have a lot of resistance to bullets, you're still going to die incredibly quickly. This character seems like SS tier, one of the best in the game. Very, very, very strong. And again, the combo, if you are 1v1ing and you don't need to worry about stuns or anything, you're just going to initiate with your tornado, and then you're going to hit them with your scarab, and then just shoot them until you run out of ammo, in which case you'll hit your 3, activate your multiplier, it will pop on them, do however much damage, and then you'll have all of your ammo back. This is the build. You can search it up. It's called Giga Gun Damage, and you can just search my name and probably find it. I'm just going to talk a little bit about why we use these items. We are using kinetic dash and a lot of attack speed. You want a lot of attack speed. It's just really, really strong right now, and his bullets do tons of damage. We also have Headhunter. We have a lot of headshot boosts, so it's really prioritizing headshots. We have intensifying magazine because we are going to be shooting for a very long time, and then when we reload cancel with our Quicksilver reload, we're going to be shooting for even longer. So this brings us up to like almost 400% extra weapon damage, which is just crazy. And that's what the build is primarily focused on, is getting as much damage as you possibly can within each bullet, and then trying to speed up how fast these bullets come out. We also have Diviner's Kevlar, and this is going to be really good for if you're ulting into team fights. You will pretty much land with a 700 shields, and you get like a bunch of attack speed bonuses as well, so it's just very, very good on him for that reason. You're pretty much never going to worry about not being in a team fight with this character, because even if you're prioritizing farm and a team fight starts to develop, you can just teleport to it. You'll land, you can teleport on their backline, like directly on an enemy. You'll literally land with Diviner's Kevlar and have like a crazy shield, and you'll just have all your abilities up and just start melting people. Also, his fall-off range, the damage fall-off range, is kind of crazy. As you can see, I'm about 50 to 60 meters away and doing like 1,000 damage with just 2 items. So that might be worth speccing into later on down the line, as well as Ricochet. I'm not sure if Ricochet is going to be worth it, because I'm not sure how practical it is to get the maximum multiplier onto enemies. However, this is the build I'm rocking with right now. I will update it as I see fit, but that's pretty much it for me today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.